We are here at the Hyderabad-based T-Hub, largest innovation ecosystem that the government-enabled ecosystem, in fact. And I have here entrepreneurs and the CEO as well of Math Lab here, and someone who is in fact hosting a lunch for his teammates because Donald Trump has made it. Why the celebration at this scale?
Yeah, I've been rooting for Donald Trump for a while now, and I think the sanity has restored at the US scale. And also, like, I think, meritocracy is something compared to a DEI type of environment will prevail. So that's why I think I'm as a startup and I'm in a core technology space. So I think this is what is very much needed. And I'm greatly looking forward for what is coming next.
So how is business going to change?
I think quite a bit because now as a part of Indian technology space, right, most of us are supporting, developing the applications, but then most of us to focus on core technology. Always it helps if somebody in US or in the West, right, is supporting a lot of merit. So that's where I think we should start looking at how to innovate and then move away from traditional space of just supporting or building applications to build the innovation technology, and also with Elon Musk at the helm of things to build the government efficiency. This thing, I think a lot will change. I think there'll be a lot of cut in government spending on rudimentary things, and then they'll focus a lot on innovation. I think even India, like startups from here, right, would play a critical role in that.
So the stock market certainly looking very happy, and buoyant mood in the US as well. What is your reason for optimism? Introduce yourself.
My name is Kiran Babu. I'm a co-founder of Rava.ai. I'm uncomfortably excited, but I'm super excited in comparison to the previous thing. So it definitely is a great deal for ecosystem, for tech as an ecosystem, right? $245 billion is the market. 5.3 million people are working here. I'm very confident that the promise that he made is corporate tax to come down from 21 to 15. That means there's more excretion, there's money that they will have to spend. And we want that money to come here, and it will naturally, there's a natural extension that's going to happen that creates more jobs, that creates more opportunities, and as you're saying, that creates more innovation opportunities. I'm excited for that. I'm uncomfortably excited about immigration side of things, where now H-1B visas. So Biden, the rejection rate was around 3.2%, it seems. When Trump was there, it was 18%. So will that have a similar thing this time? I don't know. I hope it's not, because 7.3 lakh people got in 2023. So I'm uncomfortable on that part. Where will that come down? Will that go up?
You are in fact in the hiring space, and therefore, what is your insight? We spoke about quality versus quantity in the earlier regime, isn't it?
Absolutely. And this is how it should be actually. So I'm Piyush and I'm co-founder of Hire++, and I believe that 18% of rejection rate which was there was more or less inclined with the people who were actually not meeting the criteria, which should be the way how it is, because Indians are no longer just a place where you get cheap resources for a reasonable price. It's actually about getting the best of people at a much more options to choose from, and that's where the best of the people should be going and working like that. Because now, when we are talking of AI, definitely there are 4 big changes which are going to happen, right? With Elon Musk coming in picture, we see chips being negotiated better. We see a lot of work happening in the field of space tech. We see a lot of work happening in various new technologies and new innovations. A lot of antitrust laws are going to be reversed or should be controlled in a way where you see AI growing leaps and bounds there.
So and you're not unduly worried about H-1B work visas?
I am going to see a lot more happening from Indians, but for Indians who really are interested at the same time are worthy of actually making that transit. So it's more about having a better quality of Indians moving to better quality of jobs, which I'm supporting.
Rahul, you're the CEO of the Math Lab here, machine learning and artificial intelligence technologies. There is a lot of optimism in terms of the kind of money that may come in, the spends by the Fortune 500 companies as well. What is your outlook now about how Indians and Indian tech space or the professionals here, companies, going to benefit?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'm personally very happy because Trump won, and the only reason for me is that because he said some time back, after losing the last election, that I will come back, and that kind of personality or character is what I appreciate, that he made it. People can debate on the policies and other things, but that is something as a startup entrepreneur and as an ecosystem enabler, I always appreciate that. Coming back to your question, definitely it will be a very positive thing for the Indian ecosystem and startup or be it MNCs, because next 10 years what we see is going to be the age for AI services, and India is going to play a major role there. And with the tax cut which is coming to 15%, if it stays for another 5 years, it will give a tremendous boost to the outsourcing business, to the IT services who are working based out of India. And IT services, when I say, not just the typical or traditional IT services, but also the booming AI services industry, where most of the Indians will contribute. That is one thing. Second part is that with Trump coming into power, AI along with crypto, which is the blockchain and all these technologies, will see a great push. And already you're talking about the crypto stock market, but I was also closely watching the crypto market. The emotions are very positive there, and it's going in a very positive direction. So definitely all these things, when come together, we can say that technology in a nutshell, like technology like AI, blockchain, AI services, which are very relevant for organizations or ecosystems like us, or startups associated with us, or on enterprises associated with us, it will get a tremendous push in a very positive way. And for India and Indian ecosystem, I think the outcome will be all positive, particularly in this segment. I will not comment on the H1B and those kind of aspects, but from a technology perspective, job perspective, Indian economy boost perspective, I am very optimistic about the change.
So the political leadership and the relationship is something that everyone is now feeling very happy about, that we can get going there. But is there any specific ask that you want from the government to be able to enable this, exploit this situation better to the advantage of India?
Yeah, we should be making the walls shorter, and we should be making the bridges more. I believe in that.
I will say that the more initiatives and I was just seeing the Twitter trends yesterday, Howdy Modi and those things going on again. So I'm very optimistic. Mood is right, and it's very positive from our leader and from US leader, both those parties. So I just hope that the the collaboration grows and more such collaboration and new opportunities are explored together, particularly in the tech space, because even our Prime Minister's focus is a lot on the tech and the startup ecosystem, and we are doing a lot in the startup. And with Trump coming on the other side, I think it's very positive. So what they can do is that come up with programs, new initiatives to build technology together. So what we are doing with other countries, similar initiatives can be taken by India and US together.
Two takes from my side. One is like focusing more on synergies than differences this time would help a lot in making it a win-win for both countries. That's one aspect. And second aspect, as Rahul was saying, right, Modi has built that positioning for India as a country, which is a balanced country in comparison to the neighbors. So which we should take it as an advantage and a strategic advantage to see now anything that China is not, anything anti-China or against China should naturally come to India.
India is best placed to exploit it in terms of scale as well.
Exactly. So we want to ensure that the pie is getting bigger, but also the current pie, the adjustment should happen. And that's what I would expect, and I would want the government to focus more on, to build those things.
Okay, last word again, TV. Start with you, end with you.
Yeah. So maybe because I didn't introduce myself, like Naren, my company name is Pipu. I'm co-founder of that. Then on the specific ask about the government, right? So imagine, right, like we have tons and tons of H1B that you have mentioned. But when this question has put forward to Vivek Ramaswamy, like who will play a critical role in Trump government, he mentioned that, see, all of this became, like a lottery, right? Like some people are, getting picked up and some people are not. So for this to address it, right, so what they are coming up, or what I want them to come up, is like based on the merit, right, depending on, what is their education, where are they coming from, what are they contributing. That's on one aspect. Second aspect is like, Trump is talking about how he'll, regulate the trade between the countries. But I would say there is a lot of scope of sharing the innovation, especially in the connected mobility space, right, like in the space side. Whatever, Elon Musk is driving, there is always a place like where we can actually contribute, correlate, and then start co-innovating together, because they realize India is a place where there are a lot of creative, good mathematical brains that are present. So I would definitely think that, that is a good place to be. And then if Modi pushes, nothing like it, right? So.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen, for this conversation. So certainly mood very upbeat and buoyant. And hopefully the India-US relations will take new highs and take the Indians along as well in the tech space. In Hyderabad, with camera person Nagraju, Uma Sudhir, NDTV.
I'm here in one of the tech companies in Mysore. Interestingly, it's called ISAC. It deals with cyber security, but I'm mainly here with a lot of other tech experts as well to find out how Trump's presidency in the US can affect the IT sector here in India. I want to start with Captain Anand Naidu, who actually is running this entire organization, though from the Air Force to cyber security, and now we are talking of Trump. How did this transformation happen, and what are your first thoughts?
Thank you. Air Force technology side, we were there, and we had to deal with certain cyber security issues as well. Then this is a natural transition, I thought, because a lot of crimes are happening and crimes are only going up on a regular basis. So I switched over to cybersecurity about 6 years ago, and it's been a great journey. That's exactly how I transitioned.
About Trump's presidency?
I think Elon Musk dance on the stage during the campaign reflects a lot of things. What is going to come is an indication of his dance, actually. And for the Indian tech companies at least, there is optimism. Cautious at the initial stages, because obviously he may like to generate more employment for the local people. Employment is in a very urgent need there in US. People are not willing to take employment as of now. He'll have to motivate them to come for jobs. That's something which might affect our low-skilled workforce. But high-skilled workforce, I think, will be definitely benefited. We will be having some more traction as far as our tech companies are concerned. The big tech companies, you have seen how the share market has responded. So they are all indications positive for me. Regulatory side, yes, I think there are some things that possibly will come in due course. We will have to wait and watch.
Mr. Mithun, you've been dealing with the tech sector that caters to US healthcare. The fact that the relations between Mr. Trump and Mr. Narendra Modi, I mean, it needs absolutely no explanation at all. Do you think that that camaraderie between the two can really be a big boost for the tech sector here?
With healthcare, yes, predominantly, I was looking at one of the article from Robert Jr. Kennedy, where there is a lot of emphasis on healthcare in terms of how they could actually look at more chronic things, chronic diseases, and obese. They just want to treat that, which means that automatically, since we are into US healthcare, we see that it's definitely going to grow. There is a lot of emphasis on the healthcare side of it. So in terms of employment, we definitely see that it's definitely going to pick it up. But on the flip side, the H-1B visa is what we see that there is going to be a significant impact. Even during the first time when Trump was in, we saw that a lot of employees, when we send them for the visa, it was declined. So there was a huge drastic change. But that is one thing which probably might kind of impact. But however, now that we are able to operate remotely, and then there's a lot of way how we have established, especially post-COVID, in terms of without traveling, how we have established. So we would definitely see that it's a brighter side of how the healthcare would pick up, and which would create a lot of opportunities for healthcare. That's how we see with healthcare as.
I mean, while there is hope on one hand, there are also challenges, because we've been talking about Mr. Trump's stand with respect to immigration, with respect to migrants. We've also seen the visa issues, like you pointed out. How do you see the dollar versus rupee? How do you think that is going to play out?
I think that aspect of the exchange rate aspect, which helps us be very productive in our service industries, that might not change in near term. It's probably continue to go and help our delivery process that we do and in the profit margins and all. But the point which Mithun was talking about, for the last 2 decades that I have been working with the US market, the visa issues which were there in the last decade, and it has not been resolved at all, those aspects we hope will get addressed. The economy, even in the Trump's first term, was actually probably better compared to now. That's what the US indexes say. So that shouldn't get impacted in the near term, at least in the next 4 years. So it should still work for us.
In fact, you did start off on the Elon Musk note. Do you think that India will be able to see Tesla very soon?
Yes, I think it is going to happen. May not be very soon. One is Tesla, the other one is X. Trump and X, the earlier version, Twitter, had a lot of issues. Now he is a friend. That's something which definitely will have impact. Social media as a whole and the information environment that is prevailing today there, they will have definite changes come about. A lot of research is going to hopefully happen. Protection of data, especially of the children and other areas, will get much traction. Definitely, they will have some benefits as far as that. And as far as we are concerned, I think social media regulation from our side in Indian context, we are pretty good. That way, possibly we will have something aligned with what they will also have. Some of the states are already following them, some of the states not yet. Like for example, the data protection for the kids, they have, some states have 18 years of age, which aligns with us, whereas some of the states still have, the federal laws have 13 years of age. That's something which will have to possibly go up. It will, for us, I'm optimistic that in the cybersecurity sector, there will be positive outcomes.
When it comes to Bangalore or Mysuru, we are not just known as the tech capital, but we are also known as the startup capital. How do you think this is going to affect the startup sector? Because time and again, in the last decade at least, we've been talking about the receding funding for startups. Do you think that that trend will be changed? There will be an upward trend now?
I think definitely with how I would see startups as India being more dominant with a lot of startups being there, and we being a startup for the last 5 years. So I definitely see that in terms of tech, as Mr. Captain Anand mentioned, if the IT the niche roles, I'm sure India is the capital for it. So definitely that can capitalize a lot of opportunities for India, but it would still impact the entry level or the mid level. Probably that is something that which could cause an impact for startups. But if it is something that which can target the real cybersecurity or something which you was aware that we're able to align, absolutely that wouldn't make a difference, is what is my opinion.
In the recent past, there have been a lot of issues as well as wars that we have been witnessing and we've been talking about. But when it comes to the Trump-Modi factor, do you think that these kind of wars would be averted, there would be some kind of a peace talk that can be looked forward to, and the impact of those wars on the IT sector will also be mitigated?
Yeah. See, wars across the globe, not just IT sector, it impacts everybody, everything. We have seen the costs sort of spike, countries going bankrupt because of it. But for sure, over from the time since the war has started, couple of years now, Modi has been one of the proponents of peace. Solve your problems by talking, not by fighting, right? And Trump consistently in his campaign has told that if I was the president, this would have got solved the first day. So I hope both of them, Trump is expected to be in India in 2025 for Quad meetings now. So I hope by the time they talk, figure out, and they talk it out in a table. That would definitely not just help IT sector, but everybody. Life will be better. So I hope it happens.
Thank you so much for this. This was extremely insightful, but the entire talk was indoors. Let me actually head out, have a cup of chai, and find out what the techies outside in Mysuru have to say. How do they view Trump's presidency, and how do they see the impact of it on the IT sector? Come with me. Well, we are here in Mysuru. What better way to start the conversation with a chai pe charcha? No wonder it is called that. And I'm here with a group of techies. We are trying to understand how the tech sector would be affected, not just in Mysuru, but throughout the country, to find out how the impact of Mr. Trump's presidency can be a boon or a bane for the IT sector here in India. I start with both of you. Your first thoughts, if you can introduce yourself and talk about your first thoughts about Mr. Trump's presidency.
Yeah, so myself Shubham Tripathi, I work in IT sector from last 6 years. And first of all, like it's a very big what to say, it's a very big and nice election that has happened in the America, and definitely we have a very good bond, like our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, and Donald Trump, as well as Elon Musk. So yesterday also he has said the same thing. He has taken openly in open platform. He has taken the name of Elon Musk, and he said like definitely they'll help to IT sectors to make it a progress. But one more thing, like since he belongs to a very good family and he belongs to business development, especially he is a businessman, business tycoon is in the current era. So definitely we'll think about something growth in IT sector that we are not able to see from last 1 year or 1.5 year. So, and one more thing, what he did in 2017 or 16, so related to visa policies and some salary structure. So he was saying something, some range was there. He has put it like maybe 90 to 97K that he can get if he is going to get the people from America for the same salary price. So why he will hire other people? So that was a controversial statement that he has given it from 16 and 17. But now we are hoping for the best. Like he will do something because he has a very good bond and he has a very good soft corner towards India. In terms of all the growth.
Soft corner, how do you see that? I mean, do you think that it is going to help the IT sector in terms of on one hand, you have his policy with respect to the migrants. On the other, with respect to this bond that he shares with India, how do you think that will play out for the IT sector?
See, already recession is there in the market. But if you see that remote job have drastically increased post-COVID, before COVID also it was increasing. So based on that, whatever that minimum wage they are planned to give actually, they can get that resource in US. Okay. But in India, that remote job is increasing day by day. So it's not going to impact. The impact is only of due to recession. Either Joe Biden or that Trump will percent doesn't matter because see, recession is already there. So we can adjust in those remote job and all.
What are your thoughts? Do you think that, you know, the IT sector will get a big boon, a big boost with respect to Mr. Trump's presidency? Do you see yourself going to the US very soon?
Actually, I belong from mechanical department, so basically I don't have that much of idea regarding the Trump, but I don't know.
You're hoping for the best?
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best.
Right. With respect to the dollar versus rupee, what are your thoughts? Do you see that kind of, you know, shaping up somewhere that can be a big boost to the rupee factor here?
Yeah, definitely. So rupees, dollar, everything depends on the growth of the nation. So we can see some changes definitely should happen in rupees and dollar. There should not be so much of gap in between both. So yeah, that should be, but let's see how it's going to happen.
I mean, the current affairs, you have a lot of wars that are happening across the world. How do you kind of see that? Do you think that both Mr. Trump as well as Mr. Narendra Modi can actually do something about that which can benefit the IT sector as well as the recession which is being caused mainly because of that?
Yeah, definitely. Both the great leader will work on this part actually regarding to war and all, because the market is going down. Definitely they are going to take some action.
Do you see any kind of a disadvantage in this? You thought that, okay, this is one factor that Mr. Trump may not really do it for us and that can affect you?
So, Mr. Trump, like if we talk about this war once again, so this was his election campaign slogan itself, like he will try to resolve this war issues in all over the country, all over the world. So not only Russia and Ukraine, we have this Bangladesh issues, we have some other war like maybe in all of the regions. So definitely he will try to resolve this issue because this is the first of the promise that he has given to that promise that he has done with the US public. So yeah, definitely he is going to take that action. He is known for that. So definitely.
The slogan has also been "Make America Great Again." Will that make India also great again?
Yeah, because see, both the country are participating at all the global events. Okay, so if they came out of the recession, the whole economy is based on that US. If US economy will be affected, then Indian economy will be affected, especially in IT actually. Okay, so yeah, that will help us.
On that note, even though you've finished your chai, let's say cheers with a cups of chai so that it can really make both India as well as America great again. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Mysuru for NDTV.